Hey everybody, welcome back. It's patch 7.14, and this time I have an Udyr build to show you that's a lot of fun. AD, Lifesteal, Tiger Stance. It can win almost every 1v1 in early levels. Compared to building attack speed, it's a lot stronger earlier. So the plan is to use this early strength to be very aggressive early, hopefully get some easy kills, and then snowball our lead. We'll be getting Tiamat and Warrior first, and then we'll choose a situational AD item next, so we can adapt to any matchup, and I'll narrow that down to about 5 choices and explain when you should get each one. Later in the game, you can split push because this build has great wave clear, and it will be hard for anybody on the enemy team to 1 versus 1 you. For the runes, going to be using all AD reds and quints except for one attack speed quint. Before the Tiger rework in 7.8, I would take all AD, but if you do take all AD now, your clear speed will suffer just a little bit too much in my opinion. The yellows and blues are standard defensive picks for jungling, flat armor seals for early protection from monsters, and scaling MR glyphs for later protection against magic people. Masteries are full damage, 18, 12, 0. Before the rework I would take Thunderlords, but again some of the Tiger's burst damage was taken away and moved to sustained DPS, so Thunderlords is not as good now. I like Fervor Battle for the extra damage, but you could also take Warlords, which would give you more healing and movement speed in combat. Now for the item build order, starting level 1 with the Hunter's Machete and Rejuvenation Bead because we're getting a Tiamat first. First recall, you can try to get your Tiamat, hopefully boots also. That's usually when I try to recall. You'll need 1350 gold, 1350 gold to get both of those. And then next build Warrior. Warrior is a really good early power spike once you get that finished because it's a lot of AD for not very much money. So that'll help your burst damage with Tiger Stance, and it'll help your AoE clear speed with Tiamat. At this point, you want to choose a situational AD item depending on the current game. So if you're really fed, you should probably just get Death's Dance, because that'll give you 80 attack damage and 10 CDR and the helpful passives. The other option, if you're fed, is Blade of the Rune King. So when would you choose Blade over Death's Stance? Well, it all depends on how tanky the enemies are. So if you're against like 2 or 3 tanks, you should take Blade of the Rune King instead of Death's Dance, but really they serve the same purpose and you would usually only get these when you're fed. Blade of the Rune King is great against tanks because of the on-hit percent health damage. So those are the 2 options if you're fed. Then moving on to slightly more defensive choices, Black Cleaver is going to give you damage as well as health. So if you're losing early and you know that you want to choose a defensive item here, and you notice that the enemy team is half physical and half magic damage, you can't decide between Maw and Guardian Angel, then in that case just choose a Black Cleaver because that'll give you health, which is going to protect you from both. And then right after Cleaver you can get like a mixed defensive item like ZZ Route Portal or Gargoyle. When in doubt, just go for Black Cleaver. Then the last 2 choices are to counter a heavy magic team or a heavy physical team. So if you see the enemy team is maybe 3 or 4 magic champions, you want a Hex Drinker. And the same thing, if the enemy team is mostly physical, you want to get a Guardian Angel for sure. Choosing this item is really important, and I wouldn't underestimate how important it is to choose the right item. Then after that, upgrade your Tiamat to either Ravenous or Titanic Hydra, upgrade your boots. Swiftness is only a good option if you're ahead. Other than that, go for the defensive choice. In the late game, choose defensive items based on the enemy team comp, and you can also try to reach maximum cooldown reduction. Okay, now let's move on to a full game that uses this build. Starting at blue buff, as usual. Level 1 Tiger, level 2 Turtle. Remember, you gotta attack exactly 4 times in each stance for the maximum efficiency, get the maximum healing, and the maximum clear speed. Blue to wolves to red. Use your smite to take red, and jump over this wall. Now you have 3 choices, either gank top, gank mid, or invade the jungle. And with this build, you really want to try to find the enemy jungle and 1v1 them. We found an Evelyn over here. I definitely 1 versus 1 this guy early, so let's just push him out of his own jungle. He's going to have a hard time if he wants to try to contest this blue buff. The enemy mid lane shows up. We're just going to jump on this Lux. She's really squishy, and caught her by surprise, did a lot of damage, which is pretty much how it usually goes with this build. You always surprise people by how much AD you have. That's going to be a free blue. Let's use this plant to sweep both of these top lane bushes. We can grab Scuttle before we recall, That's 1,400 gold. That's enough money to finish Boots and Tiamat. Now our clear speed is going to be a lot better, so let's head back out towards Raptors and then Krugs to take advantage of our great clear speed. Attack the largest one first so you can get the most damage output from your AoE. That's just the fastest way to clear the camp. Let's just invade. Our mid laner gets a kill. Steal some more stuff like these wolves and this Gromp. And I don't think we're going to be able to get this Hecarim up here, so that's just going to be an opportunity to recall. We can actually solo Dragon right now. Let's first grab our Stalker's Blade and a Control Ward and head down towards Dragon. We can use this to clear Dragon. It's not warded. Tribush is warded. Fire Dragon, that's a perfect dragon for this build because we're building AD. Fire Drake's going to increase our AD. Let's grab blue and let's just do a little bit of farming in the jungle while we're waiting for a gank opportunity. Because right now I can't gank mid, I can't gank bot. Bot is too pushed. So we can just farm a little bit. Now let's invade. There's 3 enemies bot now. Enemy jungler shows up, so let's run down there. Sneak in behind them. They're all pretty squishy and none of them have ult yet, so we can probably win this 1 versus 3. We burst out the Zillion first. Chasing Evelyn. Evelyn flashes. Switch over to Lux. Oh, one more attack on Lux. And then this guy, I kind of wasted flash because I thought I was going to take a step to attack him one more time into tower range. But my AD carry attacked him the last time, so it was a waste. That's okay though, we got a lot of money out of that. Not enough to finish Warrior, but we got the Caulfield's Warhammer. Let's go back out to do a little bit more farming. We already cleared the bottom half of the map. So let's move on to this side now. Raptors and Krugs. And we can try top lane. This time, the enemy top lane is pushed enough for us to just run in behind him, get our burst damage, and he's dead. Take a little bit of farm, not too much, just a few minions, and then go back on our way to farm the jungle, maybe catch the enemy jungler this time. The enemy blue buff might be up, so let's run over here, and there's the enemy jungler. Enemy jungler is 3 levels behind me. I don't have smite, so the blue buff resetting here was actually a good thing for me. Evelyn gets a little bit too close, and he's dead. Then we'll be able to take blue buff uncontested, no smite needed. And now might actually be a good time to solo Rift Herald because I'm 5-0 already. I would usually wait until like 15 minutes to solo Rift Herald, but if you're this fed, you can do it early. And you can see how low Rift Herald's health is already going this fast. Cannon's running away from Hecarim, bringing him right towards me. Cannon, please don't dive in and do anything crazy while I do this. Then Hecarim, I don't know why, but he thinks he can fight us, so he gets stunned once and stunned twice, and he's dead. That's going to be a Rift Herald buff. Let's kill this last thing over here, this last camp, this Gromp, and then maybe help our top laner push, because Hecarim's dead. So we can definitely get this tower, and then I should probably recall because that's 2,400 gold. That's going to be enough to get the warrior. Now I'm looking at the scoreboard to decide what item I need to protect myself from the enemies, and literally every single kill on the enemy team is on Orianna. So I built Merc Treads and a Hex Drinker. Let's run back out to join our team for this fight. I'm just going to leave Zillion there, I'm sure my team will handle it. Let's just chase these other 2 people. That's 4 enemies dead, 1 enemy in top lane. We're just going to take this second Fire Drake. Enemies are all alive now, so let's just do a little bit of farming. Once again, recall. We can grab a pickaxe, get a little bit more damage. This game I decided to go for the Ravenous just because I'm so fed. Usually I would go Titanic Hydra. Here I kind of wasted flash because I thought Lux was throwing a snare when he auto-attacked me. So he kind of baited me there. But then it ended up working out pretty good because Hecarim tackled me backwards and I was just able to kill Lux pretty easily. The Hecarim flash tackles me under tower. He got me. I still need to use my Rift Herald buff, so let's head down towards bot lane. Let's just activate this before it expires. And try to get this tower. Well, we got the first tower. Try to ping my AD carry back. Gonna recall, pick up a Vamp Scepter. I don't really have any Lifesteal yet, so I want to get at least that 1 Lifesteal item. Let's run back up towards red buff. The 3rd Fire Dragon is spawning in 3 minutes, so let's really try to get that. Triple Fire Dragon. AD build. Doesn't really get much better than that. Let's take red and then work our way towards top lane. On the way there, we can take out Krugs. And then let's just kill all these minions up here with our Tiamat. Doesn't take very long. Take another wave, and then try to get behind these guys in mid lane. There's a couple that are pushed, so let's just run straight through the enemy jungle. Ping a few times for my team to make sure everybody knows. Run in behind him, and we want to focus the Orianna because he's the most fed. So try to get towards him. He ults me, but now we're going to get Zillion, and Orianna is going to be dead too. We can recall, pick up a Ravenous Hydra and another Caulfield's Warhammer for Maw of Malmortius. We're at 338 AD. Let's see what happens when we get this third Fire Dragon up to 361 AD. Coming for you, Orianna. Gets away for now, but we took 3/4 of his health. Let's just kill somebody else. All these people are so squishy that I can kill them all in like 3 hits. Hecarim's the only one that takes like 10 hits. That's an ace. Let's go push bot a little bit. You want to split push as much as possible because that's the only time you're going to get solo XP, and you can get a lot of money from split pushing because your clear speed is so fast. You can just leave your team for like a minute, go up to top lane or go down to bot lane, kill like 3 waves of minions. It'll take you like a minute, and then either rejoin your team or go to the opposite lane and do the same thing. So we got inhibitor tower. We're not going to have enough time to actually grab inhib right now. The enemies show up. Let's just try to get away from them for now. We can try to get behind this guy in mid lane that's overextended. The fed Orianna, but she recalls before we can get there. So let's just recall ourselves. It's going to be another 2,500 gold. It's going to be Maw of Malmortius finished. We can get a little bit more MR with a Spectre's Cowl and another Ruby Crystal. So here I notice a lot of action up in top lane, so I'm just going to run back down to that exposed inhibitor in bot lane. And we're just going to be able to finish off that inhibitor. Enemies show up, but they're not going to be able to stop me. Let's try to focus the Lux, not the Hecarim, because Lux is way squishier. The healing is ridiculous. Here's an example of that right here. Hecarim dives on me, I'm down to 300 health, and I can just lifesteal through everything. Kill Hecarim, run a little bit further. Zillion's gonna catch up to me. I tried to burst him out before I died. Almost got him. Cassiopeia's gonna finish him off for me. Let's run down here to help my team from this Hecarim. We got our mid laner. Top survives until Lux shows up, and then I chase down this Lux, get him trapped, and once we kill Lux, that's a couple picks. That's our opportunity to take Baron. So I'm pinging Baron a few times. Run straight to Baron, sweep it, kill a couple wards. Pretty bad smite by me, but we still got Baron. Hecarim is not here because he was busy defending bot lane, so that worked out great. The one person I'm worried about was not there. Recalled, picked up Spirit Visage and Raptor Cloak. My last item will be Zizarot Portal. Now we got a little bit of armor, so I can fight Hecarim a little bit better now. Let's run back down towards bot lane because this inhibitor is going to respawn, so we can get it again. Get a pick on Zillion. Let's just run straight for this inhib. I don't think anybody's going to really contest it. Orianna is up in top lane. We can get mid tower and mid inhib also. And since Lux misses her snare, I just engage straight onto her, go into next tower. I know it's okay because she doesn't have her snare. So that's 2 inhibitors down. The last one to get is top lane. And the strategy in this situation is to go to the lane that still has the inhibitor and try to draw all the enemies up there. So the minions will push into the other lanes and nobody's defending. So let's recall. Too low to keep pushing right now. Let's finish our Zizarot portal and head up to top lane and try to make a fight happen up in top lane, and that's pretty much the end of the game. Once that happens, if there's a team fight that happens in top lane and they have mid inhib and bot inhib down, it's pretty much game over. Cannon's over here with me, and the enemy Lux and Orianna are here. So I'm gonna run them behind him. Lux backs away. I'm gonna switch my focus to Orianna. I'm not gonna get any kills out of that one, but I made it out alive, and the minions are in the enemy base. And we just want to stall this as long as possible. So Hecarim fights me, he kills me, but he died too. And meanwhile, our AD carry runs down to their base, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. That's going to be the end of this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or if you would like to see more videos like this one. Leave a comment if you have any questions or any suggestions. Thanks guys, see you later.